Welcome to episode 1 of Getting Down with GarageBand. GarageBand is a great piece of software that can be used for a number of different music and sound for video projects, including enhanced podcasts. Let's open GarageBand and take a look at the software itself. If you've tried out GarageBand before, the first thing that you will see is the last project you were working on. That's fine, but the first thing that you will see if you've never opened GarageBand before is the New Project dialog. In the New Project section, let's choose Piano just so we can investigate the basic interface and see what we are working with. We can name this whatever we want for now. My song is fine. Now we are looking at the main window, which is divided into 3 sections. The left pane is our track list. Right now there is just a piano. As we add more instruments, loops, or recordings, they will each be listed here on their own track with independent volume and pan controls. The center pane is called the timeline. This is basically a representation of our song from start to finish. The red line on the left side of this window will move from left to right as our song plays. This shows us how far through we are, or lets us choose what part of the song we want to listen to. Next, let's look at the right pane, which has a couple of different functions. First, take a look at the 3 buttons below this pane as they change the function of the pane. The eyeball, or loop browser button, sets this pane to view all of the loops that are available to use with GarageBand. Let's try clicking on beats just so we can see a list below of the different beats to use. You can choose a loop simply by dragging it into the timeline. There may be some loops listed that are not immediately available, but they can be installed with a simple Apple software update. As well, if you have other loops that you use with different pieces of software, you can add your existing loop folders to this list by dragging it into this pane. The letter I, or the track info button, shows us the instrument on our currently selected track. Here we can see piano. We can choose any of these instruments to use on our selected track. Also, notice the 2 tabs at the top here, Browse and Edit. Right now we are browsing for an instrument to use. Once we have one we want, click the Edit tab and we can see the effects on that instrument. Last here is the button with the musical note, which is called the Media Browser button. In this pane view, we can view any pre-made media on our computer, including iMovie projects, songs from our iTunes collection, or photos and videos to add to a podcast. Now let's look along the bottom of the screen. This is simply called the transport, although it has a few added features. The first button, with the plus symbol, is the Add Track button. This will let us add new tracks for software instruments or a recording from a microphone. The next button, which looks like scissors, is the Track Editor button. This will open a new pane at the bottom of the screen, in which we can make detailed edits to the individual audio or media tracks in our project. In the center of the transport section, we find the usual record, rewind, fast forward, play, and loop buttons. Then comes the time window, or LCD display. This lets us see how far through the project we are on the timeline. Last here is the master volume control and meters. This slider will adjust the overall volume of all of our combined tracks. Now let's take a quick look at the main menu options across the top. Under File, we find the usual Open, Close, and Save functions. Edit gives us our copy and paste actions. Track lets us add or show different tracks in our project. We'll get more info on that later on. Control, we will use mostly to change the view in the LCD window below, and Share is where we will find settings to export our project. Remember, there are 10 parts to this series, so stay tuned for more Getting Down with GarageBand.
Hey, this is Doc. If you're looking for a cheap and easy way to put your own content on the web, go get domain names from hover.com. Just visit hover.com/butterscotch and you'll get 10% off and support shows like these. Thanks.